أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Lesson number 78, Surah Al-Anam, ayah number 1 to 19. Al-An'am, what does it mean? Animals of grazing livestock. Remember, many times the word An'am is translated as the cattle. However, cattle only refers to cows. But the word An'am is more general. It includes cattle, it includes camels, as well as sheep and goats. And An'am is actually the plural of Na'am, which is, in the singular form, is only used for camel. But the plural form, An'am, is not just used for camels, but it is used for all grazing livestock animals. The surah, Surah Al-An'am, is a Makki surah, and it was revealed in Mecca 1 year before the Hijrah. So it was basically revealed towards the end of the Makki period. And with Surah Al-An'am, the second group of the surahs of the Quran begins. And this group is of Makki surahs, meaning a few of the surahs that we will learn inshallah now are going to be all Makki. So far, we have learned about those surahs which were Madani. So for example, Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Imran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, all of them were Madani surahs. Now inshallah we will be learning about Makki surahs. So far, in the Quran we have learned that the ayat, they are generally very long. Correct? They're very long ayat. One of the ayat that we learned was the length of the whole page of the Mus'haf. And one more thing that we learned about Madani surahs was that mainly the ahkam are mentioned. The commands are mentioned. In Surah Al-Baqarah we learned about so many commands. From fasting to Hajj. In Surah Al-Ma'idah we learned about so many commands. However, in the Makki surahs, we learn about Aqidah. What does Aqidah mean? Belief. Belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about the angels, about the prophets, about the books, and also about the Day of Judgment, as well as the decree. So you will see this as a very dominant feature in the Makki surahs, that there is less emphasis on the ahkam, and there is more emphasis on Aqidah, on Tawheed, on the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, on the certainty of the Day of Judgment. So this is generally what the Makki surahs speak about. This surah in particular, Surah Al-An'am, has 3,001 words. So this is also a long surah. But relatively, it's short compared to Surah Al-Baqarah and other surahs that we have learned thus far. In the Madani surahs, one more thing about Madani and Makki surahs, in the Madani surahs, the people of the book, as well as the Muslims, they're directly addressed. Why? Why in Madani surahs? Because in Medina, who was there? The Yahud. So in Madani surahs, we learned a lot about the Ahlul Kitab. And in Makki surahs, who is being addressed? Who is being spoken about? The Mushrikeen. The Mushrikeen are being spoken about. Now the surah is called Surah Al-An'am because of the An'am that are mentioned in this surah, in verses 136 and 138. And why are they mentioned in particular? Because the Mushrikeen of Mecca, and not just Mushrikeen of Mecca, but the Mushrikeen of the entire Arab Peninsula, they had certain beliefs regarding the An'am. As we learned early in Surah Al-Ma'idah about the Bahira and the Sa'iba, remember they would take a particular kind of grazing livestock animal and they would devote it, they would dedicate it to their false gods. So all such beliefs concerning animals, they have been refuted in this surah. And the surah gets its name from that. It is said that the surah was revealed in its entirety, except for just a few ayat. This entire surah was revealed at once, except for just a few ayat. Ibn Abbas radhiyallahu anhu said that all of Surah Al-An'am was revealed in Mecca at night. It was revealed in Mecca, and when was it revealed? During the night. And it was accompanied by 70,000 angels. Generally, who would bring the wahi? Jibreel himself. But when there was some wahi that was very special, then it wasn't just Jibreel who brought the wahi to him, but along with Jibreel, many other angels would also accompany Jibreel. As we learned that the last ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah, remember the hadith? That Jibreel was with the Prophet ﷺ, and he said that a door from the heavens has opened which has not ever opened before, and angels have come down from there who have never descended before, bringing which ayat? The last ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah. So what does it show? 70,000 angels coming with Jibreel in order to give the surah to the Prophet ﷺ. It shows the importance of the surah. And Ibn Abbas ﷺ also said that these angels, when they descended, they raised their voices in glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At the end of Surah Al-Ma'idah, we learned, لِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا فِيهِنَّ. To Allah belongs whatever that is in the heavens and the earth, and whatever that is within them. وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٍ. And He is able to do everything. And the beginning of Surah Al-Anam reiterates the same message. So let's begin the surah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. All praise is due to Allah. Who is Allah? الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ. The one who created the heavens and the earth. وَجَعَلَ الظُّلُمَاتِ وَالنُّورِ. And He made the darkness as well as the light. ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ يَعْدِلُونَ. Yet, those people who disbelieve, what do? They equate others with their Lord. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Alhamdulillah. All praise is for Allah. What does hamd mean? Hamd is to describe someone in beautiful terms. It is to describe someone in beautiful terms, in very good terms. And hamd, to translate it easily, it's praise. To describe someone in good terms, what is that? Praising someone. But what kind of praise is hamd? First of all, it is such praise that is based on love and respect, reverence. Sometimes people praise others, but they don't respect them at all. They don't respect them at all. On their tongue, they're mentioning their praise, but in their heart, they're cursing them. However, hamd is such praise that is out of love, as well as out of respect, out of reverence for the other. Because you love them, because you respect them, this is why you're praising them. Secondly, hamd is also such praise that includes the idea of thankfulness. It's not just praise, but it is also gratitude. Because what's the point of praising someone? Sometimes. Maybe they have done something good. Okay, but if they have done something good to you, then what is that? Praise along with gratitude. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who deserves such praise. Why? Because everything that He has done for us, He deserves gratitude from us. And thirdly, hamd is also such praise which is always true. Why? Meaning, the one who is being praised, he deserves that praise. Do you understand? Because many times people are given maybe certificates, or they're given titles, or they're praised, and they don't really deserve that praise. It happens in this world. However, hamd is true praise, meaning the one who is being praised really deserves that praise. So, Alhamdulillah, all praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lillah, lam over here is for istihqaq, meaning it is of worthiness, as well as ikhtisas, meaning specification. That He is the one who deserves all praise, and it is only Him who deserves that praise. Alhamdulillah. Meaning no one but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserves hamd. Now the ayah begins with Alhamdulillah. Why? Why does the ayah begin with Alhamdulillah? For two reasons. Think about it. When you begin something with Alhamdulillah, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? Okay, you show gratitude. However, whenever you begin something important, it's necessary to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the beginning. Which is why you will see that many times a person comes, he gives a lecture or a khutbah, but at the beginning what do they say? Some word, some statement of glorifying and praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So by mentioning the hamd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the beginning, what's the objective? To praise and glorify Allah at the beginning, as that is the etiquette of beginning something that is important. And we see this at the beginning of the Quran as well. How does the Quran begin? With Surah Al-Fatiha. And how does that begin? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And secondly, the ayah begins with Alhamdulillah to inform and teach us that this is the reality, this is a fact, that all praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And He is the only one who deserves it. Why? Why does He deserve all hamd? Because He is الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ. He is the one who has created the heavens and the earth. Now why are the heavens and the earth mentioned? Because they are the greatest of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for people to see. Remember that the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is much greater, much greater. But the heavens and the earth are mentioned why? Because these are the two creations that are big in front of us. Meaning they're the biggest creation for us to see. The mountains are not mentioned why? Because the earth is bigger than the mountains. We realize the greatness of the earth compared to the mountains. So خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ, that He is the one who created the heavens and the earth. All that you see. Who is your Khaliq? Allah. وَجَعَلَ الظُّلُمَاتِ وَالنُّورِ, and He is the one who made the darknesses as well as the light. What is the darkness? Zulma, darkness, is of many, many types. It is tangible as well as intangible. Tangible meaning physical, literally as in the dark of the night. What is that? Zulma. In a cave. What is that? Zulma. In a very dense forest. What do you have over there? Zulma. That's darkness. And zulma, zulumat are also intangible. Like for example, the darkness of kufr. The darkness of nifaq. The darkness of jahl, of ignorance. When a person does not have knowledge, he is in darkness. So He is the one who has made a zulumat, and He is the one who has made a nur, the light. What does light refer to? Again, tangible and intangible. Tangible light, for instance, the light of the sun, the light of the moon, the light of the stars. And intangible light, like the light of guidance, the light of iman, the light of knowledge. So وَجَعَلَ الظُّلُمَاتِ وَالنُّورِ, He is the one who has made the darknesses as well as the light. If you notice, for the heavens and the earth, the word khalaqa was used. Isn't it so? But for zulumat and nur, the word ja'ala is being used. What's the difference? Khalaqa means that He created, and ja'ala is that He made. But doesn't it convey the same meaning? He is the one who made the heavens and the earth. He is the one who made the darkness and the light. Doesn't it give the same meaning? If you analyze the two statements, khalaqa and ja'ala, they give the same meaning. So why use different words? First of all, to keep variety in the sentence. To keep a variety of words in the sentence. And this is a part of eloquence. If you use the same words over and over again, sometimes it's part of eloquence. And sometimes it sounds very redundant. So, in order to keep the speech eloquent, this is why khalaqa was used and then ja'ala was used. Others say that no, there is a difference between khalaqa and ja'ala. Khalaqa is that He created. And ja'ala is intangible. If you look at it, zulma and nur are not two objects. Isn't it? Zulma and nur aren't two objects. What are they? They're attributes. Aren't they? They're attributes. Zulma is the absence of light. And light in itself, can you touch it? Can you feel it? You can't. It has to be in something, on something, coming out of something, then it has an existence. Otherwise it doesn't. So, for zulma and nur, ja'ala is used because they are not an object in and of themselves. They are attributes. And also if you look at it, a nur, as I mentioned to you, that it includes intangible light as well. And if you look at it, the Quran, what is the Quran? It's nur. We have learned so many times thus far that the books, the scriptures that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, they were like nur, they were light. meaning intangible light. So what does it show? That by using the word ja'ala, it specifies that zulma and nur are not always makhlooq. Because the Qur'an is not a creation, it's the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So وَجَعَلَ الظُّلُمَاتِ وَالنُّورِ ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Then those people who disbelieve, what do? بِرَبِّهِمْ, with their Lord, يَعْدِلُونَ, they equate. The word thumma, it gives a sense of then, after a while. However, the word thumma, it also serves the purpose of joining two statements. It also serves the purpose of joining two statements, connecting two statements together. And at the same time, it also expresses amazement. It also expresses disgust and shock. That look at these people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who deserves all praise, because He is the one who created the heavens and the earth. He is the one who appointed the night and the day, who appointed the darkness and the light. But look at these people. Isn't it amazing? What are they doing? They're associating partners with Allah when He is the only Khaliq. He is the only Khaliq. He is the only one who deserves praise. But still, yet, these people are associating partners with Him. This is amazing. This is strange. The word يَعْدِلُونَ is from the root letters Ain Dal Lam. And يَعْدِلُونَ is understood in two ways. First of all, it is said that يَعْدِلُونَ is from adl. And what does adl mean? That which is equal. It means that which is equal. So adala ya'dilu is to equalize. To make two things equal. To put them at the same level. To put them at the same level. Like we learned earlier, أَوْ عَدْلُ ذَلِكَ صِيَامًا. That when giving the kafara, if a person is not able to feed the needy, then what can he do? He can fast for an equal number of days. Adl. So what does adl mean? Equivalent. So يَعْدِلُونَ, they equalize, they equate. Meaning they put others at the level of Allah. They make Allah equal to others. So ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ يَعْدِلُونَ. Secondly, it is said that يَعْدِلُونَ is from adul. And what does adul mean? To deviate. To turn aside. So, ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ يَعْدِلُونَ, meaning عَنْ رَبِّهِمْ يَعْدِلُونَ, they turn away from their Lord. Meaning they don't worship Him. They don't thank Him. They don't praise Him. They don't ask Him, but they ask others. They don't depend on Him, but they depend on others. They don't hope from Him, but they hope from others. They don't respect Him, but they respect others. ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ يَعْدِلُونَ. So what are the two meanings? First of all, they set partners with Him, they equalize, they equate others with Him. And secondly, they turn away from Him. They ignore Him. They don't pay any attention to Him. And if you look at it, many people, the majority of the people, they have one of these two behaviors towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Either people are doing shirk, or even if they do believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what do they do? What do they do? They turn away from Him. They ignore Him. Even when they're praying salah, they don't pay attention. Even when they're praying salah, they don't pay attention. Their mind is elsewhere. They don't give importance to reading the Qur'an, reading the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't give importance to making dua to Allah, asking Him for help. They don't take the time out to thank Him, to do something for His sake. So ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ يَعْدِلُونَ. This is very strange. What do we learn from this ayah? We learn many, many lessons. First of all, we learn that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is praiseworthy. And He is the one who is most deserving of praise. And if you look at it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is praising Himself. Alhamdulillah. Whose speech is this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's. So He is praising Himself. He is most deserving of praising Himself even. And because of this reason, it does not suit a person or a creation to praise himself and to consider himself very exalted. Why? Because Allah is the one who deserves all praise. What do we learn? Alhamdulillah. And only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserves all praise. So it doesn't suit a person that he goes on praising himself. He goes on exalting himself. He goes on showing off. No, it doesn't suit a person. This is the reason why pride and showing off and riya, what are they? They are major sins. Because alhamdu, for who? Lillah. And many times what is our behavior? We do something very small and we expect praise from people. That I have done this, I cleaned my room, praise me, thank me. I did my homework, thank me, praise me. We want to be praised on every little thing. It is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who deserves all hamd. Now it doesn't mean that we don't praise other people, we do praise other people. But only to an extent. And we should remember that alhamd is for who? Lillah. Another very important lesson that we learned from this ayah is that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created everything, meaning He is the Khaliq, and He is the one who made the darkness and the light, then He is the only one who is worthy of all praise. So why does He deserve all praise? Over here, two reasons are mentioned. And what are they? Because He created everything. And secondly, because He made the darkness and the light. He is the one who deserves all praise, and He is the one who deserves all worship as well. What do we learn in Surah Al-Baqarah? Right at the beginning. Ya ayyuhan nas u'budu rabbakum. Who is He? Alladhi khalaqakum walladina min qablikum. So He deserves praise. Why? Because He is the only Khaliq and He is the only Malik. Another very important lesson that we learn from this ayah is about the foolishness of those who either associate partners with Him or ignore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Turn away from Him. Don't pay any attention to Him. A person may consider himself to be very intelligent. He may be very intelligent. But if he turns away from his Lord, if he sets partners with Him, then what does it show? What does it show? That he's not using his mind. Because over here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Thumma. What does thumma indicate? It's amazing. It's very strange. Look at these people. What are they doing? Don't they have any sense? Don't they have any logic? I mean, who gave you your body? Who gave you everything that you have? Still you don't have time for your Khaliq? Still you don't have time to sit down for 2 minutes and read His book? Sit down for 2 minutes and make a dua and pray to Him? Really, if we think of it, generally when we read these ayat, we think about the mushrikeen. Okay? Leave the mushrikeen, think about yourself. Apply this to yourself. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gave you everything, He is the one who gave you this body. You don't have time for even 2 minutes to sit down after the salah and complete your tasbihat? Is that how busy you are? ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ يَعْدِلُونَ. This is very amazing. This is very strange. Look at these people. He is the Khaliq, He is the Malik, but look at them. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ. He is the one who created you. مِنْ طِينٍ. From clay. Meaning He didn't just create the heavens and the earth, but He also created you, O human beings. And He made you from what? مِنْ طِينٍ. From clay. Meaning He made your source, your origin, your father, meaning Adam alayhi salam. From what? From teen. Because the rest of the human beings, meaning the progeny of Adam alayhi salam, they are created from what? Ma'im mahin. However, Adam alayhi salam, he was created from teen. So our origin is of what? Teen. And what is teen? Teen is a mixture of mud and water. So basically, what kind of mud is it? Wet. Clay. So He is the one who made you from teen, and this is amazing. Because in and of itself, clay or mud, it cannot speak, it cannot smell, it cannot show any expressions. But the human being that is made from teen, it can speak, it can walk, it can move about, it smells, it expresses. And similarly, if you make something from teen, does it have life in it? No. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you from teen, and look at you. You have life. Why? Because He is the one who made you. He is the one who gave you life. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن طِينٍ. ثُمَّ then, meaning after creating you, قَضَى, He decreed أَجَلًا, a term. What does qada mean? Qada is to make a final judgment concerning something. And it is to carry it out. Which is why the word qadi is used for a judge. Because his judgment, his decision is final. Until the case is going on, everybody's saying, oh, this should be done, that should be done. But when the qadi, he makes a judgment, and that's it. That's the final judgment. So, ثُمَّ قَضَى أَجَلًا, then he decreed, he decided, he settled an ajal. What does ajal mean? A fixed moment in time. And the word ajal is also used for a period of time. So he decreed a term. A term for what? A term for each and every one of you in this dunya. At the end of that period, at the end of that term, you will die. So for every single person, his term, the length of his life, the length of his stay in this world is fixed. The length of his stay in this world is fixed. So what does the ajal refer to? What does the ajal refer to? Lifespan. From birth until death. The point of death. So for every person, the time of death is fixed. So he specified this ajal. And then he specified another ajal. And what is that ajal? وَأَجَلٌ, and another ajal, another term, another deadline, that is musamman, that is fixed. What does musamman mean? That which is fixed in time. So وَأَجَلٌ musamman, and another term that is fixed, it is indahu, it is only with him. Meaning only he has knowledge about it. None other has the knowledge about this ajal. Which ajal is this? The second ajal. It refers to the Day of Judgment. So he specified the time of death for each and every single person, and he also specified the time for the death of what? Of the heavens and the earth. That when all of this will also come to an end, in other words, when the Day of Judgment is going to be established. So he is the only one who knows as to when the Day of Judgment is going to be established. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, عِنْدَهُ, it is only with him. We learn in Surah Al-A'raf, ayah 187, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ أَيَّانَ مُرْسَاهَا. They ask you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about the hour. When is its arrival? Meaning, when will it happen? قُلْ إِنَّمَا عِلْمُهَا عِنْدَ رَبِّي. Say, its knowledge is only with my Lord. لَا يُجَلِّيهَا لِوَقْتِهَا إِلَّا هُ. None will reveal its time except him. Meaning, only he has the knowledge about it. Similarly, we learn in Surah Al-Ahzab, ayah 63, يَسْأَلُكَ النَّاسُ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ قُلْ إِنَّمَا عِلْمُهَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. People ask you concerning the hour, say, knowledge of it is only with Allah. So, ثُمَّ قَضَى أَجَلًا, he decreed the death of each and every single one of you. وَأَجَلٌ مُسَمًّى عِنْدَهُ, and another term that is fixed and its knowledge is only with him. Meaning, when the Day of Judgment is going to occur. ثُمَّ أَنْتُمْ تَمْتَرُونَ. But look at you. What are you doing? You're doubting. Tamtarun is from imtira, mim raya. What does mirya mean? Doubt. So tamtarun, you all are doubting. Meaning you doubt the resurrection, despite knowing that He is the one who created you. Despite knowing that He is the one who created you from clay. Why do people doubt about resurrection? What's the doubt that people have? What is it that makes them think that maybe resurrection is impossible, it's not going to happen? What makes them think that? What doubt do they have about the Day of Judgment? People think that once I have died and my body is completely decomposed, how is it ever possible for my body to come together? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? That He is the one who created you from teen. He created you from dust. He created you from clay. So when you have died, and you have turned back into dust, do you think it's going to be difficult for Him to create you another time? No. ثُمَّ أَنْتُمْ تَمْتَرُونَ. Then still you're doubting. Why are you doubting? If He can create you from teen, He can recreate you whenever and however He wishes. The word tamtarun is also derived from the word mira, which is used for a dispute, an argument. So ثُمَّ أَنْتُمْ تَمْتَرُونَ, what does it mean? That you all are differing and arguing about the coming of the Day of Judgment. Meaning there's nothing to fight about over here. There's nothing to argue about over here. It's very obvious. If He can create you from teen, He can recreate you whenever He wishes. What do we learn from this ayah? First of all, we learn that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can create the first time from clay, then He can recreate on the Day of Judgment from clay as well. The one who created this dunya, He can also make the hereafter. If He can make you for your life in this dunya, He can make you for your hisab in the akhirah. We also learn from this ayah that the origin of human beings is what? What is it? Teen. It is clay. So, a person should never forget that. And he should remain humble. He should remain humble. Because many times we become so proud of ourselves, we think that we're up there, and we forget that we have come from where? From down below. From dust. From mud. This is our reality. We learn in Surah Taha, ayah 55, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مِنْهَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. From the earth we created you, and into it we will return you. Back to the earth you will go. The earth you came from, and back to the earth you will go. And from it we will extract you another time. You see in the spring, when the trees, they have their leaves, one after the other, you see the trees green all of a sudden. And when fall comes, what happens? All of those leaves, they fall. And the next year again, more leaves come forth. Similarly, we were a part of the earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us. He's going to send us back into the earth, and then He's going to recreate us on the Day of Judgment. And we should remember this reality. We also learn from this ayah that it is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who ordains the time of death. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ثُمَّ قَضَى. He decreed. He judged. Nobody else did. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordains the time of death. So if a person wishes to take his life, or the life of another, if Allah does not will, the person will not die. The person will not die. Sometimes people, they go through such a terrible accident, and it's like impossible that they will ever remain alive. However, we see that their skins have completely burnt out. They have had, severe burns, but still they're alive. They won't die. Why? Because Allah alone has control over death. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not decided death for someone at a particular time, no matter what you do, they're not going to die. No matter what you do. So this is only in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We also learn from this ayat that if a person dies in an accident, or he was killed by someone, or the doctor did something wrong, then what does it mean? That if the accident had not happened, he would be alive? If the doctor did do something right, he would be alive? No, what does it mean? That he was supposed to die at that time. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, qada. He is the one who fixed that time of death. So don't say, he died too early. He died too young. He was supposed to do this. He was supposed to do that. No. Every person, their time of death is fixed. It's not going to come before. It's not going to come after. We also learn from this ayah that none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows about the Day of Judgment. Meaning as to when it's going to happen. So there is no point in speculating and coming up with wild guesses. People say, within 20 years, that's it, the earth is going to come to an end. Within 50 years, look, this is a prediction, and this is the evidence that I have. No point in doing anything like that. Why? Because only Allah knows when the Day of Judgment is going to come. People have this fascination about talking about what? About the signs of the Day of Judgment. Anything that happens, look at that sign of the Day of Judgment. I'm telling you, it's very close. Just wait till the end of the century and that's it. Everything is finished. Why are you guessing? Why? Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Focus on what you're supposed to do. Our part is to do something to prepare for the akhirah. And it is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He gives us death, when He brings the Day of Judgment. So don't waste your time thinking about it, speculating, and throwing wild guesses.